Does Marion County have a revolving door criminal justice system? That's one of the big questions we set out to answer last night during the mayoral debate exclusively on Wish TV.
We certainly did. ITMate's Cody Fisher breaks down the answers from both candidates.
Our question to both mayoral candidates about the revolving door justice system comes from the recent criticism by Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter, who called the justice system in Marion County broken. This is Superintendent Carter earlier this month during a news conference calling for reevaluating the bond matrix for violent criminals with the goal of increasing bonds.
It should be a preventative measure to do all the system can to ensure another crime is not committed when that person's out on bail. This step could theoretically slow the circular system of justice that we're experiencing today, and maybe even could be a deterrent from a crime being committed in the first place. Bad guys and gals aren't afraid of this system.
Fast forward to Monday night's debate on Wish TV between Mayor Joe Hogsett and Jefferson Shreve.
Is that a fair criticism? What changes, if any, do you want to see made in the Marion County judicial system?
The criticism is very fair, and I have thoroughly agreed with Superintendent Carter in his call for a complete review of the criminal justice ecosystem, if you will, in Marion County. While the mayor directly controls the funding and the staffing and budget for the IMPD, he's got to work with an independently elected prosecutor, members of the judiciary, and the sheriff's department. And the system, the ecosystem, is not working, as Superintendent Carter has pointed out. If elected mayor, I will use this office, I will use my voice, the bully pulpit, to advocate for a working criminal justice system that will close that revolving door to take the violent serial offenders off of the streets of Indianapolis.
In his response, Mayor Hogsett broke down what his office has been doing to combat violent crime.
I think we do need added enforcement. Why, as part of my criminal justice plan, has been to add 3 additional special assistant United States attorneys to the United States Attorney's Office, working with the United States Attorney in pursuit of violent crime, and particularly gun violence, here in Marion County. I think that because the federal prosecutor has so many more tools at his or her availability, I think that will make a profound difference in the criminal justice system here in Marion County.
Right now, I'm working to gather statistics from the Marion County Superior Court system to see just how many people commit crimes while out on bond. When I get those numbers, I'll break them down for you to see if the criticisms of the judicial system are accurate. Reporting, Cody Fisher, Wish TV, ITMate.
Meanwhile, the topic of street racing or spinning divided the candidates. Mayor Joe Hogsett believes the city has the issue under control. Republican challenger Jefferson Shreve disagrees. ITMate's senior investigative reporter Richard Essex has reported extensively on the issue.
It is not uncommon for police to recover stolen cars, illegal guns, and drugs at these spinning events that have become all too common here in Indianapolis. Now, the first mayoral televised debate right here on Wish TV, the candidates could not find common ground on how to fix the problem. I've covered this story for months. Monday night, we took the questions directly to the candidates for mayor.
So they're addressing the problem, and I think quite adequately.
I don't think that we're addressing it adequately. I think it's a recurring problem.
In March of this year, ITMate showed you this parking lot on Lafayette Road. Police say the owner spent $60,000 to resurface and paint the parking lot. This video was captured by police of an illegal spinning event that nearly destroyed the new paint marking the parking spaces and the new seal coat that is now covered with a fresh coat of rubber. Mayor Joe Hogsett says the partnership between IMPD and Indiana State Police is working well.
Neighbors and state police and IMPD all working together. I think at last count, I knew that a dozen or so arrests have already been made, and maybe since my last information, maybe even more arrests have been made. So they're addressing the problem.
When I did that first story in March, 40 people had been arrested and more than 80 stolen cars recovered. IMPD now tells me that 149 people have been arrested for reckless driving this year. Not all of those are spinning related, and many times the people caught spinning or blocking the street for those events are arrested for illegal guns, drugs, and stolen cars. Republican challenger Jefferson Shreve was with police recently when they broke up a spinning event. And he says that the ISP partnership is really a bailout and that IMPD have their hands tied by restricted policy.
And the Indiana State Police have thankfully come to our rescue, but the IMPD ought to have the resources to deal with problems within the city of Indianapolis such as this. The IMPD is stifled by the pursuit limitations, and it keeps them from going after some of the perpetrators.
Jefferson and I are going to have to agree to disagree.
In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, iTeam8.
We also pressed Hogsett and Shreve on how they would fix the city's food deserts and vast differences in life expectancy. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist explains what the people who work on those issues are looking for.
Here in Indianapolis' urban core, life expectancy can be as short as 66 years, and fresh, healthy food can be hard to find. Both Hogsett and Shreve say they have ideas to fix that.
A report last year by Indy Food Policy shows more than 208,000 people in Indianapolis live in a food desert. Those are low-income areas where significant numbers of people live more than 1 mile from the nearest supermarket.
What is happening in urban areas and black and brown neighborhoods in this city and across the country is racially driven, and it's economic driven, and it's policy driven. So it's going to take a multi-pronged strategy to be able to address the issue.
During Monday night's live televised debate on Wish TV, we asked Joe Hogsett and Jefferson Shreve how they plan to fix the problem.
I don't think the answer is to build new bricks and mortar stores, but rather to repurpose many of the vacant or disused former retail boxes that we have around Marion County, and to provide a set, predictable package of redevelopment incentives.
We've been nimble in the administration by providing, for example, the Compass app, where people can go online and figure out where their closest food access is, or our Lyft program, where you can get for $1 a ride to and from a supermarket.
Many of those food deserts also lack easily accessible medical care. Shreve says he wants to work closely with healthcare providers such as IU Health to bring more services to those areas. Hogsett says the long-term answer is better jobs and schools. Cosby says whoever wins needs to avoid simply launching a new project in a neighborhood that only addresses one issue.
That if you can do food access and at the same time do economic and neighborhood and community development at the same time, that's going to be a much more impactful and beneficial model than just arbitrarily dropping something in that becomes incredibly efficient and convenient for the policymaker, but isn't necessarily what's culturally responsive or affirming to the neighborhood or the community.
As a reminder, early voting is underway right now. Election Day itself is on November 7th. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.